Right, in this video I'm going to be replacing the skin on a snare drum. This is a pretty standard 14-inch. The story behind this, as you can see, the drummer got a little bit too enthusiastic apparently. So let's get to it. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks that I've learned working in the shop. And hopefully this video is informative and useful to you. So we will begin by getting the skin off. Now with the skin that's tensioned, this isn't really under tension, as you can see it's pretty bad, but if it was under tension, typically you want to do opposite legs until the skin is loose enough. In this case it doesn't really matter because, like I say, it's not like the skin is under tension in any case. These legs were very tight, like super tight, and I just loosened them before I even started filming. So once these are all finger loose, or finger tight, you can sort of, like that feels finger loose to me, or tight. And so we'll just use our fingers to get these off. Now I like to keep these bolts where they are. You don't really have to. These things aren't like there's a conventional size for these legs. We actually sell these things in packs, so you can buy them. So, but I prefer to, just personally. Maybe it's just because of my ADHD. I don't know. Which I have actually been diagnosed for, by the way. I'm not just throwing that out there.
This bag here,
Yeah.
I don't know about it. I don't know anything about it. But it's lying in a bag. I'm just going to put it here.
Okay.
It looks like a nylon strip.
Okay, cool.
Or a steel, I don't know. It looks like either.
Right. Okay, so now we can remove the ring. The old skin can get chucked. And before we carry on, I'm going to polish this. This is a good opportunity to clean this up a bit. I'll just use a bit of wood polish. I'm going to give this a good wipe down. Get rid of any stains. You'll notice, by the way, here's a quick tip. You'll notice when I took this ring off, I didn't tip it over to one side. I lifted it and moved it, and that's because oftentimes you will find wood shavings in amongst this ring because of drumsticks and stuff. So I'm moving it off to one side to clean it out so you won't get anything in there. Like that's something the old skin, would have had the wood shavings. But still, it would be good to, and you don't really want that falling inside. Okay, I think there is still a little bit of muck on the ends of these. These are places that you cannot get to clean them once the skin is back on. Alright, so now, new skin. Now I like to aim, because I'm right-handed, I want to do that. Follow what I'm saying? So that this thing, alright, although if you wanted to, I suppose you could put it that side. Yeah, I'm going to do it like this. I'm not going to try and match it up with the bottom skin because the bottom skin isn't lined up anyway, so I'm just going to have this here. Should be fine. Put this back on. We are going to make these finger tight, and then we're going to stretch out the skin. And stretching out the skin is the part that is important in this particular video. This, so far, all of this stuff is really easy. You don't have to have like qualifications, you don't have to be super skilled. So just finger tight. Okay, and now I like to, this is a snare, so I'm going to give one twist each one, just because it feels a bit soft and I'm changing my mind a little bit. So the idea is that we want to stretch this out, and the way we're going to do that is almost like a chest compression, and I'm going to put my weights on it. And that's how you're going to get that. So you're just going to put your weights in. Let me change camera angles to a better angle so that you can have a look at what I'm doing with my shoulders and such. Now the exact amount of pressure you want to put is something you're just going to have to feel out and figure out. It's not, I've been sort of trying to figure out how much pressure. I figure maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 kilos max. You don't need tons of pressure, but this is what it looks like. Okay. You'll see I'm standing, so I can't exactly put my whole weight on. I weigh 60, so it's definitely not that much. But it's enough to sort of stretch out the skin a bit. And that's why you want these lugs a little bit tight, so that there's a little bit of resistance. It also helps center the skin. That being said, let's get back to tightening these lugs up, and I'll show you how to tune. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple tips with regards to tuning. But firstly, we need to just tension this. And this is a snare, so I'm going to make it pretty tight. I'm going to do this to the way I like a snare to sound. Obviously everyone's different. Some people like a warmer sound, some people like a higher sound, brighter sound I should say. I think we're getting there. Whatever I do on one side, I must do on the other, and whatever I do like on this one, I must do to all of them to keep this thing evenly tensioned. So now, before I tune, two things. We obviously want our snare off, right? Because right now as I play, hang on a second. Okay, as I play, we're getting a snare sound. The other thing is we've got 2 skins resonating, and we're only tuning 1 skin. So you want to put a cloth, I don't know what type of cloth, underneath, or a pillow or something to mute that bottom skin, and then we want to turn the snare off. That gives us a much easier time tuning this. Now I just want to do a preliminary. I can hear that one's tighter. That's the trick. That's what we're going to do, is go around to each one and try and get them to sound similar. I normally just go like that. That could be a bit higher. But it takes a bit of time. It takes like the first time you do this, it'll take you ages because you're trying to listen to the differences. It's not easy to do the first couple times, but you will get used to it. To make your life a bit easier, you can do this. You can put your finger in the middle, press down a bit. You can hear that? Now the reason this works is because higher tones are easier for us to pick up, to differentiate, than lower tones. Bear in mind sounding pretty good to me. Bear in mind, okay, when I adjust this lug here, it actually affects both of those. And the reason is because you're not adjusting a point, you're adjusting a sort of a triangle of influence, so to speak, sort of, in any case. So if I tighten this a lot, it will actually change the pitch of this slightly. So one of the things I'm doing when I'm going around is I'm finding which one, where does it sound highest, where does it sound lowest. So let's suppose on this side of the snare it was sounding higher. I can narrow down and I can sort of go, well, okay, it's got to be one of these three. This seems to be the highest pitch. We'll adjust this first. Then we'll look at adjusting these two if we need to. So that's something else to bear in mind. But I think this might be in tune. Let's have a listen. Not bad. Ooh. That's a very tight skin. I'm going to actually tighten this a bit more. Not much. The other thing is, if you tighten, that's better. If you are tightening up to make the pitch higher, you don't ever want to go like 2 turns to each lug, because by that stage you've added on so much pressure. Better to go like half a turn each lug. You'd be surprised how much of a difference just even half a turn will make. Because remember, you're adjusting both sides by half a turn. That means you're stretching the skin out by like a whole turn, if I'm making sense. Now remember, you're doing that around the whole thing. So be careful. This feels nice and tight now. Alright, I'm just going to get a ring quickly. I'll be back in 2 seconds and then I can hear what this sounds like properly. Put this on because the ring is sounding, this drum is sounding very ringy. I don't know, it's still got a weird... This is too tight now. I shouldn't have gone up. You can get a certain effect if you make one skin higher pitched than the other, for instance. See how much of a difference such a tiny amount of turning makes? Sometimes you get lucky and it works well the first time. Okay, we're very close. Probably about it. Probably good enough. Yeah. I would say that's about the best we're going to get this skin for now. I might tweak it a bit more later on, but ladies and gentlemen, I think that's pretty good. Okay. Not sure how good that sounded to you, because obviously YouTube does affect the sound quality gets affected by the compression. That being said, that is how you reskin a snare drum. You can pretty much take this knowledge and apply it to any drum on the kits. I hope this video has been helpful. If you do like it, please subscribe, like, share, whatever things we usually ask you to do. I will see you in the next one.